Episode of Archery Explained, I'm going to be going over different types of releases. Okay, so here I have three types of releases. A thumb button. This one's a Stan Onyx. A hinge. This is a Scott Ascent. And then a Scott Shark index trigger. So these are the three types of releases. This is going to be your most common release. It is an index trigger. Most people start out on this. Almost every bow hunter uses one. It's also the most commonly punched release. Then we have a stand, or now we have a thumb button, not a stand. Well, it is a stand, but a thumb button. It is very common among target archers, and a lot of bow hunters use one. A thumb button is nice because, in my opinion, it gives you a little bit more consistent anchor point. It also is good for hunting, especially whitetails, where you're sitting in a tree stand most of the time. You can just hang them on your D-loop, and when you're ready to shoot, get your bow, and then the release is already on the D-loop. Then a hinge. This is fired off a rotation. It's common among target archers. A few bow hunters use it, but not near as many as the thumb button or the index. A hinge is probably the hardest to punch out of these three, so that's good, especially if you're going through some target panic. So how each one's fired, index trigger, anybody in archery knows how to use one of these pretty much, whether or not they use it correctly. But it is fired by applying pressure to this bar here with your index finger. A thumb button is done the same way, but you use your thumb. You hold it in your hand like this, and then this one has a cocking mechanism on it, and that locks this in. Okay? And then you apply pressure to the thumb barrel, and then it goes off. A hinge fired off a rotation. This one has a click in it, so when I anchor, rotate to the click, and then keep pulling through and the shot breaks. All these can be shot with proper back tension style of shot. So now I'm going to just demonstrate each one. This goes on your wrist here. I'm going to demonstrate each one and just show y'all. I'll probably do separate videos where I break down each component of the shot execution with each release. So here we go. That felt surprisingly good. So now we're going to move on to the hinge. That shot felt really good, and you saw how I just rotated immediately to the click and then started pulling with back tension. Here's the thumb button. I'll do separate videos on each release where I talk about how I execute my shots with each one. All of them can be shot with a proper surprise break, and all of them can be shot in a wrong way where it's not a surprise break and you're punching it off, even the hinge. So there's not a release that will fix it 100%. Not even a resistance release will, because you can learn that really quick and anticipate it just like any other release. I don't have any of those because personally I don't like them. But the index trigger, a lot of people say it can't be done. It can be done. You just have to focus on the pull of the trigger and building that tension, and then the shot breaks. I prefer to shoot a thumb button for everything. It just works really well for me. But I can shoot a hinge and I can shoot an index trigger with a slow controlled shot break. And you can too. Like I said, I'll do separate videos on each release and how I would execute a shot with them. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And have fun out there shooting.